So now here's the other part as well. Everybody right now is, it's all about the positioning game. So you're watching everybody. It's all about it. People don't even know what's going on right now. The other part is positioning. So what is positioning? Positioning is there's going to be different types of people that are positioning. There are those right now that are positioning to say, well, I'm younger. I'm going to be running in 2024. Dude, I need Trump on my side to come show up to my rally.
The Josh Hawleys of the world, the Ted Cruzes of the world,
Perfect.
Of course.
Great. There are those that are sitting there saying, dude, I'm going to have to do business with these guys. I'm never running for office. I'm just going to stay congressman or senate. I got to align myself with who? Pelosi's, Schumer's, and Mitch. You know, these guys are the world. So those are the guys that, you know, some of those guys that are aligning with them. Maybe a Pence, maybe some of those guys, right? Maybe Pence wants to run, but he wants to say, I'm more for the Constitution than I'm for Trump. And then there are those that are aligning themselves right now to say, dude, all I just need a job with CNN or Fox. That's all I need. No, I'm serious. Some guys are saying right now.
Or a lobbyist position. Or
I need a lobbyist position because those guys make some good money.
Yeah.
But everybody's right now posturing with their position. So some of the people are saying things that they don't really believe in. They're just saying it because it benefits the position they're solving for. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So
Totally.
it's
They're
hard.
thinking basically of their next 5 moves.
That's
is basically
exactly what
you're
they're thinking, you know. But somebody has to talk about the truth and get people to realize what's going on. You know, for us, we're just kind of sharing our thoughts. Go ahead, Tom.
You know, extremism is a very bad thing, and no matter what side you're on, and if you're a far-right Republican and you're an extremist, you're looking for someone to blame right now because that's human nature. That's what they're going to do. They want to find an outlet, you know, to say, oh, see, it's their fault, and they're going towards Mike Pence right now. That's who their scapegoat is. That's who they want to blame. That he didn't have the courage to stand up and do that. I don't blame Mike Pence. You know, I don't think he had the power to do it, number one. And I don't think he's that type of person. And I don't think you can put that type of responsibility on one person when X amount of votes were cast for Joe Biden. And now you're asking one guy to stand up just because he was told to. So I don't like the way the extreme right is blaming Pence. Here's the other question I have. Was yesterday the beginning or the end? Was yesterday at the point where we've hit rock bottom? We can only go up from here. Maybe we can find some common ground, work a little bit together. If Republicans and the conservatives have a problem with who's running this country, and most of them do, you got a chance to do something about it in 2 years. Or is that the beginning where people are just going to grind in, dig in, and make things even worse? I'm hoping and I'm praying
it's a great question.
that we can move up.
Well, I think that's a great question, and I think it depends on where Trump goes from here. I mean, clearly these people, and I'm talking about the extremists, are hanging on his every word. I mean, a lady lost her life yesterday because she is that big of a believer.
But she wasn't an innocent victim.
She was a QAnon supporter. Not that that means you should die, but like she had some far out there.
Man, you go into the Capitol building, you're taking 100% a huge risk.
100%. But let's talk about Mike Pence for a second. Let's talk about Mike Pence.
Stay on this question. If it's around this question, stay on this question. If it's not, move on.
Well, the question is where can we go from here?
Yes.
Hold
that thought with Mike Pence.
Again, it revolves around Trump. If Trump,
I don't think so.
You don't think this revolves around Trump? How do you mean?
Let me explain. Be cocky in your predictions, okay? Confident in your preparation, humble in your victory and loss. If those who won, the victorious group, comes out cocky, you're going to drag this shit out. This is not on Trump. Trump officially has no control.
If you're saying if Biden starts acting cocky?
Not just Biden, the left, the media, Biden, if they act cocky, you're putting salt on the wound and you're going to piss people off.
Define cocky, because I want to understand what you're saying.
You knock a guy out.
Beat your ass, dog.
You don't get in the guy's face. You knock them out. Step back.
Exactly.
And then you go and say, "Hey man, are you good? Is everything good?" Hey man, I feel.
When fighters and then they hug it at the end of a fight.
Dude, you walk out. Listen, I understand. Loss sucks. I've lost myself, dude. I hope. I respect your fight. I respect, and you move on, right? Okay.
Win with class.
So now obviously Trump is not losing with to say, oh, he's losing with class. No, he's pissed off. He thinks voter fraud happened. Fine, but he's not the winner. He's not the winner. Jordan, when he won, he still had class. Mm-hmm. We won. Okay, class. Hey, I want to give respect to the opponent, blah, 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 but he won. Yeah. Okay, the winners are in charge right now, not the loser. The loser officially has no control. What can he do? Nothing. Mm-hmm. He's done. He does another rally like this. Let me put it to you this way. If he entices people to go out there and do another rally like this, do not be surprised if he's 100% banned from all of social media like Alex Jones.
Yeah. And do you think that's valid?
If he does it to the point where you're getting people to be hurt, it is a very good argument to be made. if you go to that level. I don't run those companies. I'm freedom of speech. So to me, it's about freedom of speech, and I'm not about, but you cannot use your speech to create war, stuff. You can't do
especially
that.
a starting point.
No plan.
So there is a tipping point where he should be banned from social media.
Well, first of all,
point.
I said to you again, if I'm going on social media and saying, like if I said right now, you're upset about it, to all the Second Amendment folks, grab your guns, let's go to D.C. They should shut me down.
Yeah, okay.
They should take that video down. That's not a, what am I talking about?
Exactly. I mean, that's how a real coup starts.
I think he has 3 tweets he quote-unquote has to delete, and if so, they'll put his account back in the next 12 hours. If not, they apparently are going to shut his account down for good.
Look, he's not going to listen to anybody.
Yeah,
I think there's one
point.
person he will listen to. I think there's one person he will listen to.
Who's that?
I think it's only his wife. I think he will
You
listen
think
to
he's actually going to listen to her?
I think he absolutely will.
I don't think so at all.
I think, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely, you may want to turn off your mic, Kai, because everything you're drinking, we're hearing. I think he will listen to his wife. If his wife
Threatens to
sits
leave
there
him?
and says, look, I just want to let you know, you're making it harder on my kid, Barron, and you're bringing a lot of negative attention on him. And if I have to choose between you and my kid, it's my kid. Okay, and I think you're crossing a line, so you may want to calm down a little bit. But that's just my processing.
I got to tell you, I 1,000% disagree with you on that point. I don't think he's going to listen to Melania. I don't think he's going to listen to Ivanka. I don't think he's going to listen to Don Jr. or Eric or whatever the other kid is. Or I don't think he's going to listen to anybody but himself.
I don't think there is a person he will listen to more than his wife.
You're talking about somebody, back to the Mike Pence thing. You're talking about somebody. Has there ever been a more loyal vice president than Mike Pence? This guy ate a shit sandwich, a Trump shit sandwich. It was like, man, that tasted good, guys. Get on the train. And he threw Mike Pence under the bus, said, what did he say exactly yesterday? He said, basically, Mike Pence is weak and he won't do what he has no courage.
That was in the heat of the moment of when this thing was happening.
You're talking about someone incredibly loyal that you just throw under the bus in your final days.
Yeah, but he throws everybody under the bus.
Okay, that's my point.
Okay, but
everybody goes under the bus.
Let me take counterpoint here. We all know that his ego drives everything. The most important thing to himself is himself. I believe he is concerned of how this looks. I mean, in his statement, did you notice one of the things he said? In his statement, he referred to himself as having the greatest first-term presidency in the history of America. I mean, even in his release where he's conceding essentially and saying that there's going to be a peaceful transition, he's also putting the spotlight on him and saying, hey, this was the most successful first term ever. So someone has to be in his ear. He has to listen to someone and say, it is time now to pull back a little bit. You know, you can only hurt yourself more at this point. And his legacy will be destroyed forever if he continues to do this. Now, the problem is there's a certain fringe element that hangs on his words and are looking for marching orders basically from him. So he has to be very, very careful.
He has to be because he has true believer followers. Look, Dem and Kennedy's had true believer followers. True believer followers will go through the wall for you. And he has to take that power responsibly. He can't be throwing that weight around telling people to do whatever because people will move on his words. So when you're somebody like that, you have to be very, very careful. He has to be very careful what he's doing.
Are you suggesting that he's going to all of a sudden have grace and willingness to listen? I mean, you're talking about somebody, and I don't mean this like...
You know what's the best thing he can do? You know what's the best thing he can do?
Go away for a little while?
Lay low for 6 months.
Pull a Jack Ma on us?
Well,
lay low for 6 months.
If he loves his country, he needs to do that. And I think he loves his country.
Listen, we can all have wishful thinking here. But this guy is an egomaniac narcissist, and he's made it to the top.
Everybody who ever becomes a president does.
Cool. Yeah. But he ain't laying low for 2 days.
Yeah. Nobody becomes...
He ain't laying low for 6 months.
Ain't nobody becoming a president who isn't narcissistic, ego, all that other stuff. Just so you know.
No, I disagree. You can have a big ego, but you don't necessarily need to be a narcissist.
Oh, anybody that becomes a president, you have a little bit of thinking you're better than everybody else. And that's needed, by the way.
That's fine, but not a full-on narcissist.
He's also a smart guy. He needs to get away from the dialogue of the election was stolen. That's not getting him anywhere.
That's all he's going to ever say the rest of his life. He'll be on his deathbed saying that.
Yeah, if he does that...
he ain't changing, Pat.
Yeah,
Tom, he ain't changing.
I didn't say he is or he's not.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.